Hey YouTube, this is a video that I've been planning on doing for quite a while. Now, how can I get this off of my chest? This PS3, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? This is the original 60 gig model, manufactured in February 2007. It originally did have a problem where it wouldn't read any discs whatsoever. Whatever I would stick in the disk drive, it wouldn't actually read it. It would just show the loading animation in the upper right hand corner and just never load anything. I fixed this machine personally myself. I put in a new part, a new KES 400A laser assembly, and now it works fine. Plays all my games. I enjoyed it. This machine I've never bought new. This I have actually was given to me as a gift from Play and Trade. And it works fairly well. It does get hot, but it doesn't overheat. And that's due in part that it has a fairly impressive heatsink, which I don't think you guys can actually see. My complaint, and I've been really frustrated with companies' attitudes these days. Now, 3 days ago, Watchdog, which is a British broadcasting company program, they're known for their rights for consumers and protecting consumers, and I applaud them because we need more people like that, because these days a buck means a lot, and it's not right that consumers have to shell out hundreds of dollars on repairs on things that they didn't even cause. Now, I've seen some PS3s that have that yellow light of death, which this machine has yet to suffer. I know tomorrow I'm going to be playing it's going to do it, but I know how to fix it personally because I do have a reflowing oven, so I can fix it myself. So there's nothing to worry about. I'm not shelling out $150. Plus, I even cracked off the warranty seal. So, yes. My complaint is that you design a product, you have to thoroughly test it, and when things go wrong, you can't be in the dark about it and worry about releasing new models. Sony and Microsoft both had this whole mentality. This is both of them. Nintendo's immune to this because they've only had one SKU. Some people could correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been the same machine since its launch. Whereas the PS3 and the 360 both had major hardware revisions, and it seems that they focus so much on them. But they pretty much give the middle finger to the consumers who supported them. Now, this machine, when it originally was purchased by whoever it was, I don't know, but that person shelled out $600 for this thing. And let's say this consumer had the yellow light and then was asked to shell out $150. That's a ripoff. That's something that a consumer shouldn't have to pay. And Sony's attitude is, well, it's not under warranty. Warranties are just an excuse, or pretty much they're just like a little minor guarantee that, you know what, if it breaks within the first year, we'll fix it for free because it's our fault. But it seems that the warranties these days companies are using them for their own advantage. Pretty much, they're saying, well, if it happens within warranty, it's our fault, but if it happens outside the warranty, it's your fault. That's not the case. I understand there should be certain circumstances. Like, as I take for example, my HP laptop. My HP laptop was originally, I bought it for $300. It was the DV9000 series laptop, which is known for the left hinge snapping off after about 9 months to a year of use. It snaps off. No matter who you are, it's going to happen to you. So therefore, it is a design defect and a build problem that is HP's fault. After having it repaired 3 times and it kept on snapping off, they issued me a brand new replacement DV7T model, which is a totally different model, so therefore it's not susceptible to this issue. Now, how that relates to the PS3 is that you buy something, if let's say I was the only person in the world to get a yellow light of death, then Sony would have a point that, you know what, it maybe was you, okay? But it's not just one person or a very small group of people having it. It's a growing issue now. It's the same thing with the 360 Red Ring of Death. It's not people just making it up. It's actually a problem that can happen to anyone. It can happen to an old person who leaves it in by itself, doesn't even touch the machine. It can happen. Now, I understand if people took these machines and were throwing them around and then they broke. That's the consumer's fault. But when it's an internal error, and it's actually have been traced down to, again, the stupid solder joints. The thing, if you watch my other video, it's a solder issue. It has nothing to do with the consumer. And as I said, you can leave these machines running for 3 years straight. They won't get the yellow light of death, but if you consistently turn them on and off, it actually makes the process go faster. Because what it's doing is it's actually expanding and contracting the solder, and it cracks. So once it cracks, the electrical signal impulses cannot flow through. There's no connection, and it will report with the yellow light of death error. And it's solely due to solder. It has no other issue. It's just solder. So that's why when you use a reflow oven, like what I do, it takes about, I run it for about 10 or 15 minutes. They say you should really run it less, but I run it for that much, and my repairs have yet to come back. Because what it does is it actually remelts that solder, so that way those stress cracks are gone. It's not a permanent fix. It's still the case that this solder, this lead-free solder, is the culprit. And companies have to stop blaming the customers. I think customers should stop bitching about which console's better and start worrying about real issues. Okay, great, PS3, 360. I don't really give a shit which machine's better. I care about the consumer who gets screwed when they buy a $600 machine or a $300 machine, and then they're asked to shell out an additional fee for a problem they didn't cause. That's the real issue. This bullshit console war is getting in the way of real problems. All you guys bitch and complain about which system's better. Well, what about the people who can't play their machines because they're broken? That is something that people on YouTube and other forums should actually join forces. Demand these fucking companies to stop worrying about their profits and worry about the consumer, because the consumer makes or breaks a company, and the consumer has forgotten that. So the thing is, if you're by yourself, you can't do dilly shit, but if you work together, you could pretty much tank a company. Believe it or not, you can. If let's say everyone on YouTube were to stop buying Sony products, Sony would be bankrupt. Yeah. It's the power of the consumer. The company doesn't force a gun to your head and tells you to buy the product. You have every choice whether or not to buy it. Me, I didn't buy this machine, so Sony didn't get a single penny out of me for this. And I say, again, if it came to that point where I had to shell out money for it, I wouldn't have bought this. It has nothing to do with the product itself. It's just that kind of money. I'm a college student. I can't afford to be buying machines like this. So that's why it was a gift. That's why I have it. Same thing with the 360. My brother got it because he worked hard getting it. He would not have shelled out money for it. He worked for the store, and they gave it to him as a gift, for his time. And that's the thing, is that, I would never have bought these machines. The only machine I did actually buy from a store was the Wii. And that was actually an impulse buy. I shouldn't have bought it because it's just collecting dust. I'm not really a console gamer, more of a PC gamer, because I understand PCs more, and I use a PC for more than one thing. So that means that it's a better, smarter choice for me. Again, some of you guys love consoles. I'm not bashing you. But this video has to do with the fact that consumers are getting screwed. And consumers have to work together to get this fixed, because Sony is still going to tell everyone, well, F you, pay us $150, there's nothing else we can do. They don't even give you a benefit of a doubt. Look out for part 2, because this is really a big issue and people overlook it.